Good afternoon, everybody. I am very sleepy today. I'm not feeling that good. I actually had to cancel yesterday's horror stream because I was feeling really unwell. But so today's just gonna be a short stream. I'm just gonna be doing some drawing and yeah. It's gonna be just relaxed, and I'll just be doodling. I need to adjust my ClipStudioPaint because usually I am drawing on my laptop actually, and but I stream from my PC. So let me switch some things around. In fact, right before stream, I was trying to desperately find the sketching brush I like to use a lot. But yeah, I will need to adjust some things so that way it can resemble more of the layout I'm used to. Also, the brush I got doesn't have my normal configurements that I use. See, for instance, it currently is just a size of 6, but I usually do a size of 14 and have a pretty drastic slope. So trying to get that right will be a bit of a hassle. This actually seems, yeah. I think this is the right one. No, this is the one that I usually draw with. 14. Drastic slope, minimum value 0. No, a little bit more than 0. I usually try and have no, right. I usually like when my brushes are thicker, but usually don't require as much pressure. But it also might be a problem with my tablet settings for this computer as well. Might actually need to down the brush size. I'm working on a normal size canvas. I usually do 1000 by 1000. Let me see. Pen pressure, tilt doesn't need, anti-aliasing, thickness. Now that's getting better. Okay, brush density, thickness, outline. No. I can fix this as we go too. Or I can switch to a new brush altogether. But my usual sketchy style usually comes from this brush. But maybe I'll need to adjust that more offline. For now, let me see what I can do with this. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Not just brush size, but opacity needs to be affected. Swoop. Five. There we go. That should make it a bit better, I think. No. Oh wait, that's another thing. I gotta make sure stability is off. No, there's no stabilizer. Okay, then this is just... Alright. Pencil. That'll do fine. Okay. There's so much that I can draw. I have a lot of ongoing projects and stuff. But I guess I could work on. I gotta do next week's thumbnails, which I've been hastily doing every 5 minutes before stream. But let me do some rough sketch warms ups of some characters I like then. If anybody sees this who also has seen my Tumblr or Twitter will immediately probably recognize who I'm drawing right now, because he is my #1 most drawn character of all time, Karuego Naberius of Marimashita Iruma-kun, which I mostly spend my time doing fan art of when I have free time. I like this brush, but something ain't right. Maybe harder. Yeah. Maybe that's what was throwing me off. I really like rougher, sketchier brushes. I'm a really big fan of Kyu Hayashida, who has a very rough and kind of grimy style to her art. And for me, I like a similar sort of thing. No, I don't like how this is currently looking. Delete. Alright. A lot of my art is just quick sketch, delete, quick sketch, delete, and then every once in a while I'll make something or I'll just get frustrated. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm uploading it. I'm definitely not a perfectionist when it comes to my art, though I am constantly trying to improve. No, that angle's wrong. Should be... chin should be up like this, maybe? Alright, considering that just the other day I was very self-indulgent and drew a Bloodborne and Marimashita Iruma-kun collab, why not just draw another character? I only did Karuego the other day, so why don't we do everybody's favorites? Kitty demon. Though in this case, it would be a begruntled citizen of Yarnum. And I think, considering Opera's harsh and vigilante-esque behaviors that have been exhibited in especially Calico Gaiden, I think having them be a hunter would probably be the most fitting. But what kind of hunter uniform, I just don't know. Will I make them wear this little hat? The awesome hunter hat that's iconic for the series. And I think I will. Karuego's hair naturally goes up like that. But Opera's Opera usually has cat ears, which... You think about how the Yarnum hat goes. I'm doing this completely no ref. Usually like that, and then it comes down. And then there's a bit of a trail going up. Like that. So let me get rid of the head right there. Then go in. There's usually a bit of a bump in the center for the cranium. And when they're adults, Opera usually has straightened hair, unlike their wavy, curlier one that they have when they're younger. So I think I will also follow that trend. Kind of messier, not so well brushed, but nonetheless still pretty straight. They also often have a braid that hangs in the back. Now, a hunter usually has a mask covering. I'm not sure if I want to give it to Opera. In fact, if I'm going to be drawing all of them today, I should probably leave one for, leave it mostly for Balam. Let me think. Thick jacket. The iconic trench coat. And I don't need to have it exactly referencing, so I'll take a lot of creative luxuries this time around. Last time when I was drawing Karuego, I did not take so many creative luxuries, and I actually took a noble hunter's garb and drew pretty accurately. However, maybe Opera deserves something unique. Also, the more I do these art streams, the more it will become pretty common that I never really start with the same canvas size that I end with. It is often, more often than not, constantly changing. Because even right here, I want to extend the canvas this way. That way I can pose the body carefully. Because I'm starting to have an idea of what I want Opera to be posed in, which will determine the flow of their coat. Oh, not new. File. Edit canvas size. That should be good. Because what I want is, I kind of want their body to be leaning back a bit, but their legs are crouched forward. I'll clean it up much better the more time I spend on this drawing. Yeah. Crouched. Opera's strength is mostly in their legs from their fighting techniques that we've seen so far, so having that clearly displayed Oh, wait. Because of their usual vest, I could actually make this a lot more opera than I thought. So I gotta erase that lash, it's bothering me. Wait. Why can I not draw faces today? Anyways, leave that for later. Maybe fixing the jawline. Maybe attaching it instead of having them just looking up. Probably a softer jaw. Adjusting the ear up. Or actually rotating the ear. I'll go over the ear better later because it's a little too chunky for what I'd want to draw opera with, or maybe having their hair go over it. And this sketch is gonna look really rough starting out, but hopefully by the end it'll look better. I don't have as controlled as a system as a lot of my peers, though I try and be as thoughtful as possible. It's just not always, my pieces aren't always done how I want them to be. And I can take more time and fix them up how I want to, but a lot of the concepts are better just to leave as is and hopefully find inspiration that will force me to get my act together for. Oh, I need more room. The legs are looking awkward. I'll have to adjust that. Not resolution. Canvas size. Bigger. Let me see. Is it length that's awkward? Is it the shoe size? Let me think. Maybe it's the fact that the calf is... I think it's the knees. I think the knees have to go downwards more for this leg. I'll definitely make this shoe cooler. Just for now, it's a rough idea. No. I've changed my mind. I don't want opera crouched. I want them to be sitting on a ledge. One of those good old Yarnum Gothic ledges. Or Yahar'gul. Or Mensis. See, when I was drawing Kadoego's Bloodborne self, I was thinking a lot about what his actual story would be. And originally, I was going to draw him as a church member because showing loyalty like church members do is more up his alley as somebody who is so devoted and dedicated. And also considering the fact that he is cursed by beasts, it's very fitting for him, for instance, to be turned into a cleric beast. And then have to be put out of his misery. Opera is, I feel like, very just straightforward a hunter. Their personality is very blunt and straightforward like a knife. They do what they want to do, and very little can get in their way if they want something. They do work in servitude as well, so. Maybe their Sullivan this time around is... Scott Sullivan as Gehrman is just a really funny concept. Would that make Lawrence, Industrious? Maybe? No. Who'd be the one to go off and make a church like that? No clue, actually. Anyways, but I feel like Opera would definitely be a hunter if they were in Bloodborne. I just gotta figure out now how the scene is gonna be. I could just do a stone wall. I mean, there are stone walls all throughout Bloodborne. There's mostly, oh, I could do stairs too. There's mostly, very gothic style fences with spikes on top of the fences though. And those can't be sat on. A roof is a possibility as well. Let me... I think I have an idea of how I want to compose this if it is more than just opera. Because if it's a roof... Let me make a new layer. Oh no. Okay, that one doesn't have anything on it. Alright. Let me make some lines that will show where the roof... the edge of the roof ends. Now, Yarnum roofs are very inspired by Gothic architecture, especially found in Edinburgh and Scotland. So, let me think about how I want to do this. Most likely they're slate tile roofs then. It's the most common Victorian type of roof in Scotland. And I think in the UK in general. Is that too steep? They're pretty steep in Yarnum. Well, I can adjust that later on. Let me think. Let me cut out this side. I only need the hand. And maybe a bit more of that. Might look a little silly right now because everything's just unfinished, but I am not using any references right now, so I'm like racking my bread. My bread? No, brain. I'm racking my brain trying to think about architectural choices to go with for Yarnum, or wherever this hunter opera may be. Okay. Also, I can choose to do the perspective differently. Blech. Right, let's make the walls of the house start here. Then there's where there's going to be a floor split. So that's where this top floor goes down to the next floor. Oh, did not mean to do that. Alright, I guess that's gown for now. We'll just keep that in mind. I think opera might wear boots. Also, it's an excuse to draw them in thigh-high boots. I'll just do rough shoes for now. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be okay. Now that I've decided that uppers on a roof, I can actually do the flow of their coat a bit better. Needs to trail down. Ooh, and also what weapon would opera have? I mean, like, clearly they use their fists, so my guess is that they wouldn't be a hunter that's too reliant on the hunter's pistol or blunderbuss. So maybe a hacksaw. When I usually play Bloodborne, I just beat the entire thing using the cane, the threaded cane. I mean, like, if you can like beat eldritch entities just using a cane, that's just so. There's like a comedic but also very kind of badass value to that. I might be a low on the take, but I think now that hand positioning is awkward, maybe just palm down. Maybe they don't need a weapon right now. Ooh, I could give them pointed boots though. Bladed boots. Oh my god, my head. Ouch. Alright. If my head keeps getting worse, what I might end up doing is after this drawing, I will just end stream. Because it'll be a while until this drawing is finished anyways. Ooh, that waist section is now looking really embarrassing. Get rid of that. Alright. You'd think somebody who wears a trench coat all the time would be better at drawing how trench coat flow goes, but nope. That's good enough. Cool. I still don't know whether or not I like this brush. It's so different drawing on a PC. Alright. This monitor is very big. And I feel like this brush can be daintier. Oh, tilt is there. That's why it probably feels a lot different. Son of a... Alright, that's the reason why. Ah. Wait, I'm using an entirely different brush right now. How many times have been... Or was that just the first time I had switched to the mechanical pencil? Alright. Velocity random. Okay, that definitely affected. That is a bit better. Actually... Is mechanical pencil just... good for me? Ah. I'll figure it out. Drawing them with a slitted eye, because most likely they have gone through with blood ministration, and thus are beginning the beastification effects. Alright, this face shape is not working. This face, pretty good right now, but starting to realize what was throwing me off at the very beginning regarding this face. Curve in, go out, go down to the chin. Yeah, like I thought. You know what? I'm taking this face and I'm starting entirely new. I had said at the beginning, most of my process is just scrapping pieces, and that is true. This is proof of that. A lot of times I draw things not really pleased with. Don't capture what I want. That it's better just to start from scratch all over again. And this is one of those moments. And also, I'm now remembering a lot more about how the Bloodborne Hunter's hat works anyways. Because it swoops down in the front, notably, and then curves up like this. Then goes out. And I'll make it a little bit more ragged in the back later on, but for now, now we're getting somewhere. This is so much better than what I had started off with. But that could just be considered a warm-up. Now I'm just going through and defining hair movement that I think is important. more detail on the eyes. Kind of want to make Opera look a bit more tired. Then a defining bridge. I can make this jawline a little bit rounded. Actually, entirely different pose from before, but I think this is gonna flow better. First off, I want to make them have a nice cravat. Alright. Didn't like how that was originally done. Adjusting. Vest going down. Where the cravat is pulled into where the vest goes down. Some more definition for the high neck right here for the shirt. Exposing some of Opera's neck. Defining the difference right there. Too harsh right there. Zooming out, that way I don't lose perspective. Making any necessary adjustments. Ever since I first played Bloodborne, I've always really loved the iconic classic hunter's garb. Leather trench coat that probably stinks to shit. Leather vest, torn and burnt. Cool little hat. Weapons handcrafted by your peers years before. Didn't do this in the last one, but actually gonna give Opera. Ooh, I don't know if I can make it work without a ref. I was going to give like a bag band that goes across their chest, but I think it might be a little too risky right now. Their shoulder tilted up. The left one can go down. Right one goes up a bit more. Well, technically, I think what they have instead of buttons, I think all of them have that buckle system. So, let me see. But drawing buckles would be such a pain. Buckles are interesting because, like, it's very easy just to do a square, but then trying to map it over fabric, and, like, how curved should you make it, and usually hunters' buckles have slight curvy bits at the end, kind of like this, but a bit harsher, kind of looks similar to, like, a dog biscuit, but more angular, and then they have details within it. And for some reason, well, I mean, I'm just not used to drawing on my PC currently, so I don't know if I'll be capable of making it look good if I try. So, an alternate version of that will probably have to be chosen. Zoom out. Probably move Opera up a little bit. Something about this shoulder placement isn't right. A little bit higher. Opera is quite lithe, so maybe that's what I'm picking up on. Drawing them too broad-shouldered. I feel like getting the mix between broad or lathe shouldered just is so difficult for me. For some reason, like, the difference is so strong in my style. It might be just something I'm overthinking, but it's something that I worry about a lot, because a lot of times I feel like I draw Kadoega with such broad shoulders, and then sometimes it feels like I draw him way too skinny, or I don't know, proportions are difficult, and a lot of times it's just based on perspective. Like, especially if you've worked with 3D elements, it can be very easy to look at a far away, like a close-up, and it looks so good, but then you back up and it's like, oh my god, this looks entirely different, it looks so bad, and then you start worrying yourself about it. But in actuality, like, people look very different whether you're close to them or far away, or if you need glasses, and proportions will change based on that, which just makes drawing much harder. It's just practice and gaining an eye for aesthetics and what readability is to the viewers. And I mean, like, it's important to consider, like, readability to anybody who sees it, but at the same time too, some people also just are not aware of how things actually look, and or how things actually function. That thumb is too big, so I don't know if I want them holding something. No, the sleeves are way too round. They need to be strange. Actually, what I'm going to do is have their arm maybe going up and touching their hat. Something like holding on your hat. Also, I'm almost always way too lazy to actually use real hand references. So if you see anything anatomically off, I apologize. I will get around to doing more hand study soon and actually drawing hands better, but I need to be lazy right now. Might be a little too small. Wait, what side is thumb? If that's their right arm, they're holding their hat. Okay, then yeah. Their thumb should be about like right here. Now, where would their... like that? I know that hunters wear a gauntlet, so I will feature that in, but for now I just want to see if that works. This needs to be straighter. Actually, probably should go like this. The curve of the arm, I think, should be going like this. And I'll work on then drawing the gauntlet. And if that looks okay, then good. If it doesn't, well, I also might just leave it there because accuracy is not always the priority. Whether it be from references, whether it's accurate to references, accurate to anatomy, sometimes it's just more important to just continue on with the piece. Because I think every single piece you can just spend endless amounts of time trying out new things and honing it, and I don't know, for me, got a headache. And also, like, what if I work really hard on this arm, right? Trying to get it right, and I do the rest of the body, and then I scrap the whole thing. Or it just doesn't work well with, like, the flow or the pose, and obviously that sort of thing can be fixed if you plan out the whole thing in advance, but I am not. I'm currently just drawing. Let's have some pockets. Pocketses. This hand feels like it should be holding a weapon of some kind. I kind of think opera should also get a threaded cane because Humbert von Gickingen of The Cat Returns, who is a orange cat, he uses a cane as a weapon. I think it'd only be fitting to have opera as well, because it's kitty violence time. Though, of course, this opera is not a kitty. They are just being beastified. Wait. Looking from afar, I think I needed to find this eyelash a little bit more. There we go. So why does this look so weird? Oh, I see. Adjust and readjust. No, the lids have to be down a little bit more on this one. Yeah, I like that better. Alright. Now, the way Opera is going to be holding this cane might seem a little weird to some, but sometimes if I'm not feeling well because of my poor constitution, I have to get around with a cane. And when I have to get around with the cane, I hold it in a way that some would consider backwards. But in actuality, also the hand is off. Wait, why am I making it going that way? Just a second. I was forgetting how I initially wanted to draw this. But, like, some people have it so that the part of the cane that goes just straight down, like this, is behind the hand. But for me, I hold my cane and it goes... Oh, no, I draw it where it's behind my hand. No, I use it so it's behind my hand. Oh my god. Yeah, you can tell I'm not feeling too good. Though, I mean, like, this whole week's streams, I've just been kind of a blubbering idiot, but... it's fine. This is fine. All I can do is just try my best, as always. That hand is off. The knuckle needs to go down farther. Okay. What I need to do is actually scope out this hand properly. By establishing where the beginning knuckles are, where the curve of the hand goes. Then I'll have the back of the cane go like this. It's difficult too because I want the hands to match, and this one's really small actually now that I'm looking at it. Opera, I think, does have pretty small and sleek hands, though, compared to some of the other characters. Oh! That's one of the things that's throwing me off. I did not draw it with gauntlets in mind, like a fool. Alright. The Huntler's gauntlets start a little bit past the elbow, I do believe. Then they go down. Then right before it gets to the hand, they switch into kind of pointed gloves. And then they have guards on the side that are brass colored or gold colored based on your vision. With then what appears to be straps on the side with metal bolts. Cool. Those hands are kind of fucked, but you know what? Leave it as is. Now, I don't remember what the thread cane looks like. You know, it's gonna look awkward if I do it the way that I actually use the cane, because thinking about the combat movements in Bloodborne, it definitely goes down the front. I am bad at drawing straight lines. Right. Getting there. I do think it has like a just pure metal part right here, and then it goes into a wraparound pattern, I think. gauntlet's looking rough. What about this arm is feeling off? Maybe just how much this is tucked in? Maybe it's the overall... Well, if I add in other details elsewhere, maybe it'll distract from it. Me drawing for the cross off nobody asked for. Cross off? Cross over. My god. No, the leg is going too far out. I gotta zoom in. I'm going to make really low detail stuff if I just keep being zoomed out like that. Actually, I'm gonna save myself the trouble. Center this, and then I'm going to crop it. I don't need that long of legs. Just enough to define that there are legs. Shading in the underside of the trench coat. The one thing that I don't like about this brush compared to the one that I use on my laptop is that the texture comes out really, really defined. Almost dappled like sunlight when I try and sketch things in like this, which I think I could find a workaround for. But I actually used this brush when I was doing my Mesmer fan art that I posted not that long ago when the Elden Ring trailer came out. And that's one of the things that bothered me about that one. And like how detailed or how distracting that sort of dappled sort of effect came out. It'll be fine. I don't think anybody's going to be looking at Opera's crotch too much. I hope not. just do very simple buttons like this. And a hunter usually has a bag of items, but or a pouch of them. Something is off about. You know. Some of those legs are off. They'll never know. Nah. It's too simple that way. Maybe it just needs to be bigger. The legs. Maybe the... Maybe I gotta make the thighs cropped a bit. Undiscernibly off. Huh. Maybe it's on this side. These pants are looking tight, man. Oh my gosh. Huh. That looks fine enough, I think. Maybe they really should have a hunter's bag, actually. I'll do it from this shoulder instead of the one that I was originally going to do it on. Strap. Pretty bag strap, huh? Alright, let me erase the liner this is covering. That's not bad. Placement for a strap. It's a little awkward, especially up here. Maybe a bit more at an angle. But yeah, it's fine. Quick nondescript buckle. Hunter's satchel. I don't know how big they are in actuality. I don't think they're as chunky as the bag that I just drew, but it's fine. Maybe Opera's just a bit more prepared than others. Other hunters in the field. Which is good, because most of them are deceased. Alright, this is... I'm pretty content with this. I just got a few more details. And I do want to color this one too. Last one I made Kadoigo have very realistic colored hair. It's just black and brown. Or like brown when he gets older and gray. Opera naturally has black hair, but dyes it red. You know, I'm going to color it gray first because I kind of want to maybe keep their natural hair color. Because I think that their natural hair is quite beautiful. I also like dyed hair, but I just think dark black hair is very, very pretty. Alright. Let me switch to a finer pen. Or actually, I'll make this one smaller. And I'm just doing the rough outline of the hair. And then I will paint bucket tool. Oop. Not negative. To be 3. There we go. It had a very faint white line going around, which I can eliminate by doing area scaling. Ooh, their brow actually... I want to thicken their brow right there. Alright. I kind of want to keep it a natural black hair. The more I color it, the more I'm like, actually, that looks good. So. Wow. Alright. Most of the hunter's garb is also just black, gray, and browns, so it'll fit right in. Make it a bit yellowed due to wear and tear. This ascot, this... What is it? Not an ascot. I was saying it earlier. Anyways. Name doesn't matter. But it's a little yellowed and worn down. Now the leather vest, you know, I decided I'm gonna make it a crimson vest. This is not following the exact hunter's outfit anyways, so if it doesn't have buckles, it does not mean that it is probably leather. Usually when it comes down to the different hunter's outfit, anything that has buckles on it is usually made of leather. Oh, don't color the belt. Then up and across. Cool. I then can use, so the going to quickly use this brown for other actual leather things. Can't remember if they're brown or if they are black, but I can readjust when I color more things in and get it right. Up here now. Then the bag and sash I can do, but I'll change the color of this first. Hee. I like that color right now. And then switch back to the brown. This is not the brown. This is also not the brown. This is the brown. And I'm coloring over any metal bits or buttons currently just with the brown. Of course, except for the brass. I'm planning on coloring brass, because I'm going to make a layer that goes over it, over all of these, for those finer details. The hunter's hat is also leather, ain't it? I'm gonna make the coat in the hat a darker brown though, maybe. Going to also switch the brown over to a more purpler hue. Said I was gonna make the hat more worn, but I can also do that when shading if I decide to shade this. I said I was going to do the jacket the same color, but to make it easier, for all layers, oh, I can't believe, I never drew this, where the trench coat goes out. Alright. Now I can use magic wand again. Oh. And the the jacket area is my most sketchiest part because it's the biggest part, so I will have to color this and then erase probably a bit. Oh, I forgot to do the arm right here. And the plants I'll just make dark gray. Maybe a little darker. Maybe a little lighter. And the threaded cane I do believe is like a silver. Oh. Then of course opera skin color. The whites of their eyes. And then, since it is Bloodborne and there is beastification going on, they should take on an amber color. Similar to how Alfred's does. In fact, based on that amber color, I might actually use the same layer for this brass. Then over it all, silver, a bit darker gray. Oof, my head's really pounding. I gotta texture this before I start shading. Jacket. Control T. Small. Then, oh. Lighter transparency. Then, because it is a vest, I'll use that texture. Rotate a little bit. Then the pants. What cotton? A lot lighter. Rotate a little bit. And I'll start off by shading the face. And just like how I don't have my usual brushes for drawing like I do on my laptop, I will have to wing it. Because I do not use the same brushes. Pretty much the trick with any brushes, though, is draw heavy, then go over with an eraser. Ah! Switch brush. This one. Also, you'll see usually when I draw opera, I'll draw a little line on their nose. And it's simply because I want them to look a little bit more kiddie-ish. Because cats usually have a nose, a very specific nose shape. I think it's funny making Upper kind of have a more human version of that. Should make this smaller. In fact, I should probably add some nose bridge definition a little bit. Going in with a darker color, trying to define some of the more prominent shadows a bit more. This watercolor brush seems quite gentle actually when it comes down to adding in colors though. Is that to do with the jacket? Yes. Okay, hair. Now I have this hatching brush that would be good for that, for the hair. Oop. Kind of like it. Strap. Actually, let me use this also on the straps. Okay. I'll do the jacket next. Kind of like the texture that this makes. Ah. Now to the pants. Multiply. Lower transparency. Alright, and then going over with a little bit darker of stuff. I'm gonna do the vest next. Cravat. Maybe not that color. Oh my, wait. Did not realize I didn't color that little bit. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot in this drawing. Alright, that I have not properly colored. Now the strap. Adding some highlights might be nice. I might take that back. A lot of times when I try and add highlights into things, I end up just removing them because I don't really like how they come out or how they change. Just very faintly, maybe. Ah, that's right. Bronze should be one of these. That's the cane. I can make this smaller. Cool. I'm going to go over that entirely with a different thing. Shining the metal. Actually, I should be darkening the metal. And then going to switch this to being just an actual normal layer. Now I need to find out what that little bit is. Looks like skin. Yep. Texturing. I don't know if I like the gauze cloud. Running color spray brushes. Pretty cool. Let me actually change it. Multiply. Something like this. No. Move that. Oop. But I'm gonna make this marble texture smaller. Less abundant. I wish I had a brick texture. I mean, I could always do it by hand. Just a quick brick work. But there's still some things I have to do. For one, I need to darken the silver. So that it is not so shiny. And then I need to darken those eyes. I also want to add actually hat highlights a little bit. But I'll just go over it, not attached to layer. Sometimes it's just nice to go over everything. Like this. Alright. Let me quickly write my handle. And then I will do overshading, which is very easy to do. At Ghost Town Mettie. Nice. Alright, now I'm going to move all of my line art down to the shading folder. Actually, overlay. Alright, and then maybe amber lighting? Add glow. Then a cold and dark. Multiply. I still want... Yeah, I can't have a brick texture, but you know what I might do is just... Alright. Let me see if I can... Do I have any... background? Rubble? Just... Ah! That can work. No. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of texture is kind of what this background needs. So this shit's fine. Nice. I think that's pretty portrait worthy. I would actually frame this drawing, so heckin' yeah. I still gotta do thumbnails for next week, but my head is killing me, so going to end stream here. One successful Bloodborne opera has been drawn. And I think that's good. That's great. That's actually wonderful. So I'll leave things here. And thanks to anybody who's dropped by. I'll be streaming next week on my main account on Twitter at Ghosttownmettie. I'll probably update the next week's schedule on Sunday, which is tomorrow. Most likely I'll be streaming the same days as I did this week. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Yeah. But every Saturday I'm planning on having art streams from here on out. So yeah. Thanks for stopping by if you did. Have a good day.